see the sand, you got a beautiful smile, and we got a beautiful day. We are looking at the trees. They have the wind is blowing and every leaf is moving, and that is the existence, and that is the love. And today we're going to talk that love and Donald Trump. Everyone is born because of the mercy of God and because of our mom and dad. And we all are getting what we call an unconditional love. Of course, there may be some we don't know, but God creates all of us equally. And that's where we come into this existence. And I want to share with you that it was 1943, May. I was about 4 months old, which my mother is telling me after my father got expired. And she was a beautiful woman. She has given me all her conditional love, as every mother does that to their child. And it was the May of 1943 that my father, he left in the middle of the night, and they were living in Peshawar. At that time it was a part of India. And he take a train to go to his village, Dera Baba Nanak, that he want to become a sannyasi. And when he took the train in the middle of the night, while he was sleeping on the top compartment, he woke up, he jumped down, and there was another man who was 70 years old, who was also a sannyasi. And as he was going to the bathroom, he touched him and he woke him up. Now my father went to the bathroom, came back. Now this sannyasi was up, and he was also a Sikh. And he saw him coming, and my father was at that time about 25 years of age. And he says, "You know, you woke me up. You should be careful." And he to hold his hand and sat him in front of him, and he gave him one slap. And my father got surprised. He didn't reacted back. And then he looked at him carefully. He said, "Oh, you the same guy which I met you about 3 years ago?" My father says, "I can see you, yes." Now he make another slap. He said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to become a sannyasi." He said, "Do you know that before you get married, you came to our place in Dera Baba Nanak, where I managed these people, and I trained you, and you went back before the marriage, and you accepted the marriage, and now you're going away, coming back there. That is not right." He says, "You got married. Do you have a baby?" He says, "Yes, 4 months old." He says, "Listen, you can't, they call in the Indian language a lekha, that you have to give what the karmas are, you have to give it away." He said, "Look, you are a young man. I know you because I trained you. Now, next station comes, you need to go back. You can't renounce life. You can't renounce this world. You can't leave your wife and your baby away. You have to go and take care of them. I want to tell you, which I taught you when you were at Dera Baba Nanak, that you are the witness, and you take care of this body and the mind, which existence has given you. We taught you that. You forgot? Now you have to go back. The next station comes, I'm going to push you down and you go back." Well, that sannyasi pushed him back, and my father come back. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. My mother says he came back and he said he hold you and he hugged me. And after that, he totally become a sannyasi. And he gave me the unconditional love. And that's what a love is. Every child who is born this world, totally innocence, totally unconditioned, and they have what we call unconditional consciousness. They need that unconditional love from whosoever adopt them or accept them or wherever they come. You know, all the animals do the same thing. They take care of all their offsprings, and that is the total love. And let me tell you, my father wanted me to become a doctor. And when I got into the medical school, and he took me on his bicycle from a town in Delhi, we call it Lajpat Nagar, and from there he took me to a place where we can buy the books. And I'm telling my father, you can get me the second-hand books. He says, no, I'm going to get you the new books. So you put your own marks. And he did that. And I tell you, 1974, he moved to the United States, where I came, and he had an aortic valve disease. Replacement was done, and he was taking about 20 pills a day. And I was looking for an answer. At that time, I was a practicing physician, because he has given me everything, and I'm looking what I'm doing for him. Nothing. And I met Dr. Sodi Polaris, who was an electrophysiologist from Mexico, a genius man. And I visited him 1981 in Mexico City. And the first patient, when I went to his clinic, he introduced me. His name was Joseph, and Joseph was 70 years old. And Joseph says to me, Sodi Polaris is a God to me. He has taught me with his total love how I'm living. I was 40 years of age when I had 3 girlfriends. And I was running around with them, and I was drinking, eating steak every day, eggs every day, so that I can satisfy them. And then I got a heart attack. I end up in the hospital. Sodi Polaris comes in the morning and he says, look, I'm going to start you a polarizing treatment. And I tell you, he gave me his book called The Ischemic Heart Disease and Polarizing Treatment. And it is the first book which I have seen it where he wrote about God. There is no medical book where written name of God. And that is the love. And he says, polarizing treatment is not my own. It is God's treatment. It is his love or her love which has brought me here. So Joseph is telling that Sodi Polaris is my God, is a living person who has helped me and who has given me polarizing treatment. And he was telling me that he has taught me how to look my electrocardiogram. He said, now my pulse is only 50. I'm climbing on the mountains, and I have one girlfriend, and I am sexually active, and I love her, and I love my Sodi Polaris. And tell you that Sodi Polaris, a scientist who wrote first time in his book, it is the God who has blessed me to start this polarizing treatment. It is his love. And if you are openly communicating with your consciousness, with your awareness, with your own what you call the witness, then you can literally see the God is inside of you. And that is the total love. Yesterday, my grandson, I want to show his picture and I want to show you the book. And this book is called the Kama Sutra Yoga. And his name is Kian. I want to tell you about my grandson Kian. And this book was written called the Kama Sutra Yoga. And you look at, he was about 5 months old. And look the smile on his face, look the love on his face, look the innocence on his face, the oneness, the beauty. And this book was written in 2008. Yesterday, I went and I saw him, and he's now about 9 years of age. And I see that his face is completely changed. The innocence is gone. And I'm telling him, give me 5. He don't even want to give me that. And the love is gone. The innocence is gone. The wildness is gone. I see him looking on his iPad and playing the game. And I say to him, Kian, I love you. He's looking at me, but he's not reacting. And I'm laughing. The love is gone. And that is because of the conditioned unconsciousness. And that is what we all have done, that destroying ourselves at a cellular level. Because every cell of our body is totally conscious. They are master of our body. It is our senses. Eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ear, the hands are running outside. And that's how we have conditioned ourselves. And totally unconscious. And I got so scared looking at him, and I tell my wife, please help the Kian. Let's get back to the innocence. She said, I'll try my best. I'm looking Donald Trump, a beautiful soul. He was born in 1946. He was the 4th one from his family. And I tell you, I'm sure he was completely innocent and a wild and a oneness, and his father given him unconditional love. In 1977, he got married to Ivana, and he had 3 children. And the Eric, Ivanka, and Trump Jr. And I tell you, Donald Trump loved them, and he is giving them unconditional love he gave them. And later on, whatever happened in his family, the communication with his wife, Ivana, he married to another young lady, Marla. And from here he got Tiffany, another beautiful girl. And later that also divorced, or whatever way it happened, the circumstances, or whatever they were, lack of communication. Now he met Melina, and he has one baby through her, and that is Dara. And I see Donald Trump every day. I feel like he's sitting in front of me. I'm talking to him. But I tell you, he has given unconditional love to his children. I'm sure he loved it, all the wives. But I see he's still running what you call with that ego, the wall, which is there. He has to let the wall go and become totally lovable to himself. Because the first thing you need to do is to love yourself. Because if you don't have that total love, you are not there. And that is being yourself, and that's where the God is. And I want to share with him that he needs to get that, because he has to run this whole country. I know he's tweeting every day, and that's great. But he needs to come back to himself, because this is the only body we have. It has a mind, it has a complex senses, and it has hands and feet and every system in our body. The musculoskeletal system, the cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, the digestive system, the immune system. They are so complex. I don't want him to run away from them, because that is the beauty which God has given each one of us. And he needs that. And he is not getting there. He is getting completely occupied with the material world. And that material world is taking his life away. He can raise all the money, he can help everybody, but if you don't help this body itself, the physical body itself, the mental body, the emotional body, the energy itself, he'll keep on hurting himself. I don't know that he's getting a full sleep or not. I hope and pray he is. But I want to share with you that inside of each one of us, the existence is sitting inside. The love is sitting inside of us, but we are running away. And we have made ourselves completely to the material world, the money. And you want a peace of mind. And we think we can get a peace of mind through money? No. Let me tell you, there was a king. And that king every night will get up and go and watch the village, his town, what's going on. And every night when he goes, he sees under a tree a naked man standing there. And he looks at him. And he passes because he goes on his horse every day. Every day. Pretty soon he becomes very alert. And he says, I should go and talk to him because it's coming to his dream. Who is this man? And he goes and see him. He says, why you are naked and why you are awake at night? He says, I'm watching myself. I'm taking care of myself. He said, what is that? He said, I am looking at my own, what you call consciousness, the awareness, the oneness. I have no duality. I am the watcher. I am the witness of this body and this mind and the complex senses. Who's going to watch? I'm the one who's watching. The king is going every day. Now he becomes so much attached to this man that this guy is a sannyasi. He's a saint. So he stops one day and he tells him, look, come out of down his horse, and he said, would you like to go with me to my palace? He said, why do you want to take me to the palace? He says, I want you to, because you need a place to sleep. This man looks at him. He said, that's okay, I'll do that. So next day, he brings 2 horses. And he takes this man to his home, palace. And he puts him in the best room where his guests speak. The other kings used to come to him and they sleep in that room. And he puts that man there, which he called him a sannyasi, the saint, the sage. The man lies down and he goes to sleep, sound sleep. And the king is looking through the window. He said, he's completely asleep. I don't understand him. He used to be completely awake. I must have done something wrong. He must be a con man. Morning, get up, breakfast. He enjoys breakfast. Eat all the food. King says, he's a sannyasi, he's a sage. He should not be taking all these things. Again, next day, same thing. Same 7 days passed. And now the king is asking him a question in the morning after the breakfast. I have a question to ask you. He said, I know what your question is. He says, would you answer me now? He says, no. He says, you have to go with me somewhere where I can answer you the question. He says, great. He gets his horse. Both of them go on a horse. And they keep going on the horse. About a mile. He said, could you answer my question? He said, no. He keep going on the horse. And they go about 10 miles, edge of the river. And he says, let's stop here. The king says, my territory is over here. I cannot cross the river. Well, they both got down. And this sage, the sannyasi, got down. He says, before I tell you, but you asked me a question. I already know what you want to ask me. He said, let me tell you, you've been thinking the first day I entered there that I am a con man. But you know, I already knew your question. And I didn't want to answer you. Now at this time, the territory is over. There's two horses. You take this horse back to both of them, and I'm going to cross the river and go to the different territory and different village, which is owned by another king. But this king got so scared. He said, no, I want to take you back. He said, no, I don't want to go back because you will have the same feeling. Because you are not being yourself. You are away from yourself. You are living in an objective world. You don't understand a subjective world. You can't be there. It takes years and years of experience to get there. You can't just get in one night. He says, no, I want to take you back. He says, okay, I may go back with you only in one condition. When we reach there, I can stay 7 days. And if you get fed up, I'll leave again. King says, that's great. But I wanted one exception to that please teach me how to be a being to yourself and to love yourself, to become awareness and a consciousness and become oneness to yourself. He says, I will definitely teach you. So they come back and he takes him to a pond where there was a lotus flower was growing, and he see the lotus, the beautiful flower. And he says, the sannyasi to the king, he said, look the lotus flower. You live in this world, but don't get attached to it. Don't renounce it. Don't let this come inside of you. When you say, this is mine, you are just cluttering your mind, completely cluttering your mind. And that's what happened to the baby, the innocence baby. Start want this toy, and you completely get occupied by this objective, and you forgot about yourself, because this is the only life you have. Now you know you are sick. You see at me, I'm 70 years of age. There's nothing wrong with me, because I am living with the existence. I do what I need to do. So I want to share with you my book again, and that is, Donald Trump has this book, even the Hillary Clinton has this book. It's called The Prescription for Conditioned Unconsciousness. And this book has a chapter called The Transformation, Rejuvenation, a New Life. Also has a chapter called The Awakening by the Master. I'd like to request you, so please go to babasteve.org and download this book and read this chapter every day. And 90 days you will see a difference, that you will learn how to be enlightened by yourself and how you can take care of this body. How you can take care of this body physically, mentally, emotionally, because this body has a self-induced healing. Please go and visit Baba Steve and download the book and read it and share this book with your health practitioner so you can heal yourself and you become oneness and be yourself and start loving yourself. This body, and this is the only body you have, and you will learn how to enlighten yourself and become one with the existence. And I request Donald Trump and his staff to invite us so we can get him there. Let's not become a con man. Let's not become an empty man. Let's have a total love, have a total bliss, total oneness which existence has given each one of us. God bless. Namaste. Amen.